Hey guys, Sarah here and Jaxon. Just here to do my mummy vlog number 2 and introduce you to my son. Can you smiling? Can you wave? Yeah. As I mentioned in the last video, he's 16 months old and just wanted to give you an update on what's been happening in our lives the past week. Kind of major in our lives, biggest kind of thing since he was born. Jaxon, a couple of days ago, had a febrile seizure. I think that's how you pronounce it. Febrile seizure is pretty much when you get a convulsion due to a high peak in temperature, when you have a fever. And so yeah, he had a few symptoms leading up to this. A few days before, he was very clingy. Pretty much all the symptoms of when, your toddler or baby starts to teeth. I didn't think it was teething. I thought it was just him coming into his own little personality and being very whingy. So much so I ended up going to the library and getting out toddler taming books, and yeah, so I mean, it was a good read. I'm not normally one to follow any books because I like to go by my own instincts as a mother and what works best for Jaxon. It was a good read, but anyway, back to that. He wasn't sleeping well, and Saturday came, his body was just so hot. His temperature was like 39.2, very high, like, I don't know what's in Fahrenheit, like 100 I think. So he started to vomit. My husband was home from work, thank goodness, because I was meant to be working at night, but I called in saying that I won't be working. So he threw up a few times. We tried to cool him down during the day with cool cloths and but that just didn't seem to help. In the afternoon we ended up actually going to Wade's parents. They just live up the road from us, and they were telling us that Wade's brother ended up having a seizure when they were around he was around Jaxon's age. So not 40 minutes before the seizure happened, we were talking about it, and he's just saying, what did they do? And I mean, I'd read about it, what to do, but anyway, so he was on the lounge, I was in the bedroom, Wade was sitting here, and looked over and he was having a convulsion on the lounge, and he yelled out for me. I came out and put him on the ground on his side, just from what I'd read, and then the next thing happened. He went totally unconscious, lifeless, eyes rolled to the back of his head. It was just the scariest thing. I thought we had lost him. So I ran into the bathroom to try and cool his body down, because that's what Wade's parents did when he was younger. And, pretty much, not yelling, but, crying for him to wake up, because nothing was working and it was just terrifying. He had a bit of a throw up. And then after that, this went on for about 2 minutes where he was totally unconscious, and in the meantime, Wade's dad ended up coming down. Wade called the ambulance. They ended up talking him through, is he breathing? He ended up having a bit of a cry, thank God, because when he had a cry, I knew that he was going to be okay. I wasn't prepared. I was kind of prepared for the convulsion, like I'd heard about it, read about it, but I did not read about them being unconscious. So if what I pretty much stress to my friends now is, if you have your child with a fever, make sure you give them the right amount of Panadol or Nurofen, whatever gets their fever down. Keep them cool and just monitor them, and as the books and things say, put them onto their side so they're not having anything, like if they do spew up, you can kind of clear their airways. So anyway, the ambulance came, we ended up going to the hospital, stayed there till about 11, they had to run tests and needles, and Jaxon was just totally exhausted by this stage. The poor little thing, getting prodded with needles. Each time he would go to sleep, he would get prodded with the needles and, urine tests and things like that. But he is all good. He's come really good. He's running around and acting like nothing ever happened. There's no long-term effects from it, so I just want to kind of put it out there in case anyone else has had it or heard about it or not sure what happened. You know, I hadn't spoken to anyone that had it except for Wade's parents, like his brother, so just good to inform, I think. Next I wanted to chat about is Jaxon's development. He can say mum, dad, nan, cheer for tigger, half for hat, buff for balloon. Just today he said nai for night. So he picks up things very easily. Hey matey, what are you doing? You looking for Tiggy? Where's Tigger? Yeah, he loves his Tigger. Jaxon, you want to come show Mummy Tigger? Tar, Mummy? He knows Tar, so you say Tar and he brings you things. Tar, Tigger? Oh, thank you. Tiggy. Hey? Loves his Tigger. It's not, he doesn't depend on it. He doesn't like need it everywhere with him, but it's a nice little comfort. He knows the sounds of things like, what sound does a monkey make? What sound does a lion make? Where's your nose? Where's your ears? Hair? Yeah, good job! So, he picks up things really well. Yeah, it's your hair. Where's Mummy's hair? Mummy's hair? No, my hair. Where's Mummy's hair? Yeah. Where's Mummy's nose? Mummy's nose? Where's my nose? Oh, that's your eye. He generally does know where my things are, my features are. Good boy. You go play. It's actually his bedtime now. Yeah. So he's pretty good. He knows commands. You wave? You wave? That's you. So he knows, you know, go get the duck. He knows what a duck is. Go get the ball. Go get the balloon. Go get Tigger. Close the door. You know, he knows all that kind of thing. He loves to get involved in learning new things, like either to colour in or to have bought Play-Doh. He's out of that stage of kind of eating everything, so it's kind of more enjoyable to do art. What? What do you want? The hairbrush? You brush your hair? You brush your hair? No. So development-wise, I'm really happy with where he's at. He isn't the biggest talker, but you know, I think because my husband's away a lot, he's not around people constantly, so he doesn't always maybe hear it. I don't know. I find when, you know, with when he's with family, when he's with like my family and there's like a whole house full of people, he'll start to kind of mumble more. So I think that's got a lot to do with it. He is pleasuring his little presence with when he's at the shops and he doesn't get his own way. He likes to chuck himself on the floor. So that's new. That's only happened in pretty much the last 2 weeks. So, and I find I don't know if other people find this, if you guys do, but when he pretty much turns, like, you know, a month older on the 30th of each month, something new will happen. Like when he was, you know, a lot younger, on his pretty much first date, he will walk, or he will stand up, not in that order obviously, but, or he'll say a new word. So development wise, it seems big significant things happen kind of on his birthday. So let me know if that happens, you know, with your kids. Next week, pretty much, not next week, I might even do a video on what kind of activities we like to do. I'm always in search of different activities. I love getting involved with, you know, his development and what he's learning. Yeah, so please subscribe, and I'm looking forward to doing more videos. As I say, I'll be doing some teaching videos I think this month. So it's exciting, but yeah, for now I'll leave it at that. See you guys.